Elizabeth Rose, and in my doctoral leadership studies and other trainings, I have discovered that there's not one exact formula for effective leadership, but rather skills of empathy, building community, and being proactive can help you lead effectively. I will discuss these in this video. And after this video, you will be able to use proactive thoughts and behaviors to approach your responsibilities and interactions, and embrace a win-win mindset for expanded collaboration. You'll have an opportunity for some self-reflection and case studies and role play. So, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People was written by Stephen Covey a few years ago, and he outlines these 7 habits to effective work and interactions. So he starts off with being proactive, which we will discuss today, beginning with the end in mind, so knowing your goals and your vision, putting first things first, think win-win, and we'll talk about this today, seek first to understand and then to be understood, so a lot of listening in there, synergize, working together with people, and sharpening the saw, which is your own self and professional development. So jumping right into the first habit, being proactive. What does proactive mean? Well, the dictionary responds being proactive as acting in advance to deal with expected difficulty. Stephen Covey adds that proactive means taking initiative. And why is being proactive useful? It helps us to initiate change. So proactive people take control of their lives, and through this they accept responsibility for their moods and their actions. They don't blame their mood on someone else or an environmental stimuli, and they focus on things that they can do something about. And so you are able to decide to be proactive or reactive in what you do. Being proactive means that in taking initiative, you're able to make change, you're able to influence people. But when you're reactive, you're responding to the situation and you're not in control. So let's look at some of these behaviors. Reactive thoughts and responses include, he makes me so mad, they won't allow that, I have to do that, I must, I can't, if only, there's nothing I can do, that's just the way I am. So when you say things like this or think about them, you're saying that you let someone else control your emotions. When you say you can't do something or you don't have time for something, you're acknowledging that something outside of you has control over your actions, whether that's limited time, resources, or regulations. But if we look at proactive thoughts, you control your feelings. You might say, instead of I can't or we can't or they won't allow that, let's look at our options. Let's think of different ways to go about this problem. Instead of feeling like you have to do something, you know that you have a choice in doing that. You can say, I choose to do that. I prefer to do this. You take ownership and know that you're capable of doing things and making changes. And you know that, even if it's something small, you can still take action to change a situation. And through all of this, when you have a proactive mindset, you're not blaming past experiences on who you are and what you are. Maybe sometimes I'll say, I was raised this way, my mother's made me do this, or, some other external stimuli is forcing things upon me. But really in everything, we have a choice of what we want our next thoughts to be and what we want our next actions to be. And remember that your thoughts influence your actions, which influence your habits and influence your life. Now let's take a look at the next habit. And this is thinking win-win. Stephen Covey says, when one side benefits more than the other, that's a win-lose situation. To the winner, it might look like success for a while, but in the long run, it breeds resentment and distrust. As leaders, we want to breed trust. We want others to trust us and know they can work with us. So we need to think about situations creatively and think about them in a win-win way. How can we benefit and how can the other sides benefit? So let's look at an example here and role play some. Imagine you are planning a party and we say, it'd be a lot of fun to have a party at the beach. And So let's start there. And let's start with this mindset of saying yes and. And so immediately when I said, let's have a party at the beach, where did your mind go? Were you starting to say, no, I don't think we can do that? Or were you saying, yes, and let's have fireworks, and let's invite our families, and let's even fly in the families that aren't there, and let's have a big barbecue, and let's have an open dessert bar, and let's bring in some animals. And the ideas can go on and on. Now, some of them might be way out there and might seem crazy, but in the beginning stages, when you're imagining a new project, when you're talking about planning a party or taking a trip or embarking on something new or even something that you're already in, it's great to start with this yes and mindset, to think about those possibilities. Because on the other side, when you say no, because you can take yourself down a dark hole. If I said, yes, let's have a party at the beach, and he said, no, it's a little too cold there. He said, well, we could have a fire there. And I said, well, no, fires aren't allowed on the beach. Well, we could do this, we could bring blankets, or we could do, starting to think about lots of different things rather than closing off ideas. So when you think about this win-win mindset, you're embracing a collaborative, expansive mindset. And this, along with proactive behaviors, are things that effective people do, effective leaders do. And so remember that you are a leader. You may have formal leadership, or you may informally lead through influencing those around you and being a role model to your peers. Your thoughts determine your feelings. Your feelings determine your actions. Your actions determine your habits. And your habits determine your life. You have the responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, actions, habits, and your life. You can choose to control how you will react and what you will spend your time reacting to. The choices you make will impact your level of influence on those around you. Leadership is the capacity to influence others and to help shape what happens next. And so thinking about applying what you've learned in this short video to choose a proactive and win-win mindset, I want you to consider and think for a moment now, what is one area or situation in which using a proactive or win-win mindset would improve outcomes? Now hopefully you have an area or situation where you could improve outcomes through a proactive or win-win mindset. Now identify one action that you will commit to in order to improve your mindset over the next month. So maybe that's using the yes and mindset for win-win, looking for creative ways to expand those collaborations. Maybe it's using proactive thoughts and decreasing the amount of reactive thoughts that you have. So choose one thing to change. We're not going to change everything, and work on that for the next month. They say it takes about 21 days or a month for a habit to stick. So work this month on one thing that you can change to have a proactive or win-win mindset. And so after watching this video, hopefully you are able to now use proactive thoughts and behaviors to approach your responsibilities and interactions and embrace a win-win mindset for expanded collaboration. Thank you.